2023 had just ended. And in our business, we want to review how the quarter had fared, particularly business organizations that are quoted on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Beginning with the banking sector. Out of about 30 banks that are operating in Nigeria, we just chose about 12 of them, 12 top, 12 notable, 12 very prominent banks to review the activities and their performance in the course of the year, particularly in the first quarter. And our intention is to tell you, without mincing words, the most profitable bank in Nigerian operation and Nigerian banking scene. Now, I'll be giving you figures. That's a comparative figure between January and March. The year, most banks, or all banks if you like, have the financial year as their fiscal year. And so we will be taking the end of the year for every bank as December. In January, they start afresh. Now, having said that, we will be looking at the figure they closed in December of 2022, which becomes the opening figure for January of 2023. And of course, compare it with that of March of 2023 to give you the difference. That's exactly the methodology for this study. You will agree with me that we would agree over these figures. Top on the list, not because it is Zenith. Zenith ought to be Z, but in no particular order, we are analyzing these banks one after the other. Zenith Bank comes top. In January, the capitalization stood at 767.64 billion. 767.64 billion. At the end of March, the capitalization stood at 811.60 billion. Naira, for your information. I'm not quoting dollars. The difference between the figure they began with in January and what they ended up in March is 43.96 billion. In other words, the added capitalization value of 43.96 billion to their capitalization comes top. That happens to be a very top one, but when you hear GT, you confirm whether GT leads or Zenith leads or Stanbic as we put them. Stay put, watch out through with me so that you will follow what I'm trying to do. You had Zenith. GT started the year with 706.34 billion naira as capitalization. Ended March, the first quarter, with 750.50 billion. The difference is 44.16 billion. You can see the slight difference. These two banks have been competing with each other over the years, and today the competition also continues. 43.16 billion and 43.96 billion and 44.16 billion are the comparative figures for the two top banks. GT is there. That was GT. Now, Stanbic Bank, if you remember that Stanbic used to be IBTC. IBTC married Stanbic Bank International that came from South Africa and became Stanbic IBTC Bank. That bank has stood its ground. Actually, that bank is a foremost capital market player. Beginning from the days of Peter Said, the founder, had been playing in the capital market. This season, they began January with 433.41 billion naira capitalization and ended the first quarter with 487.18 billion naira capitalization. The difference between the opening in January and the end of March was 53.77 billion. You can see that there's a marked difference. You can see the order. I will leave you with the judgment. Interestingly, one of the oldest banks, possibly the oldest bank because they claim to be the first bank, had a different figure, and I would like to give you the figure for you to judge. First Bank opened the year with 400.23 billion naira capitalization and ended March with 398.44 billion as capitalization. There was a decrease in their capitalization of 1.79 billion naira. That was the only negative that we had in the banking sector. But of course, you know, it doesn't speak everything. The figures we are giving you is about performance in the quarter. So, but the valuation is attached to it. UBA, United Bank for Africa, again, started the year with 273.59 billion naira as capitalization, ended the year with 285.57 billion naira. The difference is 11.98 billion naira added to the capital of UBA. Now the Fidelity Bank. Fidelity Bank, that bank looks small, but they are doing great things in their own right. Fidelity Bank started the year with 137.63 billion naira and ended March with 150.67 billion naira, an addition of 13.04 billion naira. That is Fidelity for you. And then next in that order was EcoBank. EcoBank was also the only bank that was neutral, neither added and it didn't also decrease. Neither, no, it didn't do either. So it stood its ground. Started the year with 206.43 billion naira and ended the year with exactly the same figure, 206.43 billion naira. It was a flat performance. So there was nothing added to its capitalization. Union Bank actually is one of the oldest banks in Nigeria. They claim to be as old as First Bank, but from the word first, it comes first. This was Standard Bank in their days. Union Bank used to be Barclays Bank. Barclays Bank was nationalized in the days of apartheid, and it became Union Bank of Nigeria. Union Bank started the year with 202.38 billion naira, ended the year with 203.85 billion naira, an addition of 1.7 billion naira to its capital base. Next in that order is a new generation bank that has also played this game. FCMB used to be a capital market bank in the days of City Securities, in the days of Otumba Balogun, the founder. That bank stood and grew and grew. It started the year with 73.27 billion naira and ended the quarter with 82.18 billion naira, an addition of 8.9 billion naira to its capitalization. That's a good performance. Following immediately after that is Sterling Bank. Remember, we are doing just 12. Sterling Bank started the year with 40.30 billion naira as its capitalization and ended the year with 46.06 billion naira, an addition of 5.7 billion naira to its capitalization. Access Bank came next. Access Bank started the year with 319.90 billion naira and ended the year with 319.91 billion naira. It actually was almost a flat, but at least it had 0.01 billion added to its capital base. These banks make me proud. I will digress a little before I finish up that. Each time you travel outside Nigeria, particularly in the West Coast, and see these Nigerian brands rubbing shoulder, acquiring other banks in the zones, I think is a topic for another moment. We will handle it, how these banks have gone through West Africa, acquiring banks and setting up. This is the Nigerian spirit, and each time I see them, I become a proud Nigerian outside Nigeria. So Access Bank did almost flat. Now the last of them in that order is Wema Bank. Wema Bank used to be a regional bank, and they are trying to diversify, trying to get big. Now Wema Bank started the year with 50.14 billion naira and ended the year with 51.43 billion naira, an addition of 1.28 billion naira to its capital base. Now this is the faring, this is the performance of these banks selected from amongst the banks in Nigeria for your consumption, for your decision making, for your inputs. You will do right to ask questions if you like, but this is the faring of the banks in the first quarter of 2023, coming to you from Brush Radio. Please stay tuned and visit us again. This whole thing is uploaded for you in our website, and if you're following us on in the social media handles, you will also get them. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.